Hey everyone, it's Insko here. Welcome back to another video. Today is my top 10 songs of 2023. This video is like always the big video at the end of the year, which I always get really excited to make because all year I'm listening and reacting to new music and it all leads up to this video here. This is my 6th year in a row doing these top 10 song videos. Before we check out my top 10 songs of 2023, I want to talk about my top 100 songs of 2023. Now 100 songs is a lot of songs, and some of you might know that I have a playlist called Best Melodic EDM. Well, I'm going to leave a link for it at the top of the description if you haven't checked it out already, because this week as a bit of an end of year special, it's officially updated to be my top 100 songs of 2023. So it has my top 10, which you're going to see in this video right at the top, but then going down it has the other 90 songs, and every single one of those songs were some of my favorite songs this year. So if you're curious about that, go check that out. And without further ado, let's get into my top 10 songs. So starting it all off, we have a song by Blank and Hello World, and it's called Used to Loving You, featuring Luma and JT Roach. All of these songs in my top 10 I rated pretty highly on my reaction videos, and I actually reacted to all of these as well. But I love both of the vocalists on this track. If you've been around for a while, you know that Luma is one of my favorite vocalists. This song is like a very soft and melodic sounding track. It's quite tame for Blank. It's fairly poppy. It has a catchy but simple melody. But I love both of the drops. I love how the first one's more upbeat. The second one has more of a halftime start. And it's definitely more straightforward, like I said, but there's something just really warm and comforting about the song. And it really grew on me the more I listened to it. I definitely love Blank's heavy stuff, but he can also do melodic stuff really well. I'll also leave links in the description to all of my initial reactions to these songs as well if you want to go check those out. But moving on to number 9, we actually have a remix, and it's of the song Eyes Wide Shut by Elenium, Avril Lavigne and Travis Barker, but it's the Culture Code remix. This remix is absolutely incredible. After I heard the original song, I really liked it. I grew up listening to Avril Lavigne. Travis Barker's from Blink-182, the drummer on that band, and I feel like Culture Code took that song and just brung it into this like EDM melodic world and done it really well. It's been played at all of Elenium's live shows all around the world as well, and the fact that I got to see it twice in London, the first time actually being with Culture Code next to me, was definitely a core memory. And yeah, I feel like they just done a really good job at not only doing a remix, but just kind of bringing it into their world, and this world that I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed. The remix is doing really well as well, and I feel like they really deserve all of the support and everything that they've been getting on that one. Moving on to track 9, we have a track by Neo, and it's called One More Night featuring Luma. Yeah, I think I discovered Neo for the first time this year. I just randomly came across his music, I think. And this was one of the first ones that I reacted to. It might have actually been the second. But just in terms of like the atmosphere, the production, the whole vibe of this song, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of straightforward, I suppose, looking back on it, but there was something about it that's just really nice. The lead sounds incredible as well. Vocals, I'm always going to like Luma's vocals on tracks, but it definitely made me want to listen to more of Neo and kind of see what's going on with him in the future. So that's why it's made it into my top 10. For track 7, we can't do a top 10 without an Elenium song, okay? I mean, I guess the Culture Code remix kind of counts, but not really. So for track 7, we got Love Me a Little by Elenium and Nina Nesbitt. This song, I'd still agree to this day, probably shouldn't have been a single. I feel like it would have definitely hit harder if it was just the last song on his album that we hadn't heard before. But it's definitely my favorite Elenium song that released this year, I think. I feel like Nina Nesbitt on the vocals done an incredible job. The whole production and the whole mood of it just kind of felt like a really nice conclusion. It's really melodic, it's really soft sounding, it has that plucky melody which is really catchy and nice. I gotta admit, upon my first listen and during my reaction, I think I even said it, the vocal chops kind of threw me off a little bit. It felt a bit weird, it felt a bit different, and I was a bit unsure of how I felt about it, but it quickly grew on me. I listened to the song so much this year and I still love it just as much as the first time I listened to it, and hearing it live as well was definitely a plus. For track 6, we have a song by William Black and it's called Lie. This was a great single from William Black and one of my favorites from his new album. They never actually tagged the vocalist on it, but I think it's Kate Downey. She's the one that's credited on the song credits anyway. The song itself feels really simple, like the progression of the song, but it kind of has that like old school feel, like that old school melodic bass feel, but in a newer style. It's really hard to explain. I think I said it in my reaction video, and it's like the only way I can make it make sense. It just feels familiar, I think, but fresh at the same time. It's a really good song. I really like it. The vocal melody on the drop's really simple, but it's just something that you kind of sing along to. It's catchy, it feels good, and it's a great track. For track 5, I think everyone saw this song come in somewhere in my top 10. We got Dabbin' Worlds Away featuring Trella. I feel like this one's in everyone's top 10 this year. It kind of just blew us all away. But this song is just like so good. It's just so good. This song definitely took me by surprise. It sounds really like fresh and bright. It has like so much attention to detail throughout the song as well. The guitars are incredible on it. Trella done an amazing job on the vocals. I gotta admit, at first I wasn't too keen on the first drop. I mean, I liked it, but I definitely didn't think it was crazy. But the more I listened to it, it's an amazing song. Everything about it is an amazing song. I mean, I gave it a 10 out of 10, even though I wasn't too keen on that first drop, so I think that says everything. But yeah, this song is incredible. Still one of my favorites from this year. I've listened to it loads, and it definitely deserves to be somewhere on this list. And I'm calling this now. I'm recording this video before TKC has even done his top 50, I think he's doing, but he's putting that at number 1, 100%. For track number 4, I feel like this one might be a bit of a random one for some people. It might come a bit of a surprise, but we got Skrillex, Fred Again, and Floden, Rumble. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit sick of it now. However, I have listened to this song so much this year, and I feel like it's one of those songs that has kind of made a dent in the EDM kind of scene, or at least some kind of scene. It went a bit viral before it came out. It came out, loads of people loved it. It's just kind of like different. It's like minimalistic kind of dubstep. It's called Rumble, and the bass really does rumble. It feels really unique. Skrillex has also had an incredible year this year, releasing 2 of his albums earlier on in the year. And I've got to admit, I think Quest for Fire was my favorite. There was definitely some other songs on there that could have easily made near the top 10. But yeah, I feel like I had to include this one onto the list just simply because I listened to it so much and really did enjoy it this year. For track 3, we got a song by Lufero, Pat from last year, and Say We Can Fly, and it's called See Me Now. This one, again, I feel like might come as a bit of a surprise because I don't really mention Lufero a lot or Pat from last year a lot. I just kind of react to them and like their music, and I don't really like rave about them as such. But Lufero's Escape EP, I came back to it so much this year. I'd be listening to it and then next week listening to it again. It's just something I'd always come back to because it's like a really solid bit of work. I feel like Lufero's production style, it's kind of safe. It's like, it's very familiar, but it's done really well. It's really full sounding. And Pat from last year being on this as well, I enjoyed a lot of music from Pat from last year this year. And also Pat from last year this year, that really threw me off. Also Say We Can Fly, having that kind of like pop punk vocals was really good. Feels kind of straightforward like a lot of the songs on there, but I really enjoyed it. The vocal chops are really catchy, and it's just something that I listened to a lot this year. Track number 2, we have Aaron Shirk and Meds Alive featuring Lil Colette. I think everyone saw this song coming somewhere on the list, right? My reaction video to that. Yes! Yes! Nice! I don't even feel like I really need to talk about it. Like, it's self-explanatory if you've heard the song. But this is one of the ones that just surprised me in every way. It done everything really well. I've kind of gone from not liking psytrance so much like last year to now kind of being a fan of it. I mean, I've started messing around and producing it myself. But this is one of those songs that has a melodic drop, it has a dubstep drop, it has a psytrance drop, it has amazing vocals, it has amazing atmospheres. I mean, it ticks every box, and I'd give it like a 20 out of 10 if I could. It's such a good song. Definitely up there, and it barely scrapes from being the number 1 spot. Now, number 1, I think this is the first time this artist has ever been a number 1 for me, I think, in the whole 6 years of me doing this. So for number 1, we got a song by Nurko, and it's called Save Me From Myself, featuring Carl Hume. I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed this one. I've also seen a lot of people say it's kind of not really their thing, it's straightforward, but for whatever reason, this song just takes over me. I don't even know what it does, but it's such an incredible song. Everything about this song, like, it's very Nurko, it's very straightforward, sure, but the emotion that this song has, I don't understand how it does it. It's so good. Like, the vocal performance is incredible. And the bridge sections where it has those vocals and then the big saw stacks, it just gives me goosebumps every single time I listen to it. I love it so much. The lead as well and the drop, very Nurko, very kind of generic sort of thing. But I don't even know why I love it so much. I just love this song so much that it deserved to be number 1. I've played it the most out of probably all of the songs on this list. And if a song is making me feel like that, it's a bit rude for me to not put it at number 1. So that's my number 1 song. 2023. This has been my top 10 songs of 2023. And like I said, if you want to go and check out the other 90 songs, check out my playlist with the link in the description. And also drop a comment on the video letting me know your top 10 songs of 2023, because I look for all the comments. I'm curious to see what you all thought of the music this year. I definitely know that there is some songs on my list that won't be on others' lists, so I'm curious to see what's on yours. But also drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. This is going to be my last video of 2023, so I wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for an incredible year. We're going into 2024 with a whole bunch of plans. We're going to be doing New Music Friday like normal. Reaction Box is going to be returning. There's talks about me and TKC doing a podcast as well. But hopefully you stick with me for the journey, and hopefully I'll see you in 2024. I hope you all have a great New Year's.